Hawkeye's just finished with episode 6, so this is Christmas. Let's talk about it. But first of all, let's get more Christmassy. Ta-da! So, speaking of Christmas, one of the things that I really liked about this was the Christmas setting with how it is currently Christmas. As you can see, being December. So I thought it really worked with creating, well, first of all, this is gonna have spoilers. And just so you know, so if you don't want any spoilers, if you haven't seen it yet, or if you're not up to date or anything, just click off. Alright? Unless you still want to watch, but it's up to you. Okay. So people want to watch, should be watching. So yeah, so the Christmas setting really helped create some urgency with Clint Barton wanting to get back to his family in time. So that worked really well. It also helped to enhance some of the themes, since it seems to have quite a strong theme of family throughout it, whether you're looking at with Clint Barton trying to get back to his family for Christmas, how awkward it is with Kate Bishop and her family, or Echo and her dad. So Christmas helped enhance these themes. I also love how street level it is, because with a lot of MCU projects we expect a big spectacle and loads of CGI, but there isn't in this film. It's a lot more grounded, which I thought worked really well for Hawkeye as a character, and made it quite different to the rest of the MCU, which is something I'm loving Phase 4 as a whole. It's all quite different to the rest of the MCU. They're trying new things, which I find really cool and interesting. This also worked well with Clint Barton as a character, because he's just using his bow and arrow. He can't be going up against all of the big bads all by himself. So having him take down more grounded characters works better. It still keeps it tense because he didn't have any superpowers. So yeah, very nifty. Speaking of Clint Barton, this show helped me like him a lot more than the rest of the brothers. Is getting limelight where, as much as I like Black Widow, she was outshined by other characters in her film, specifically Yelena Belova and Red Guardian, whereas in this, Clint Barton had his time to shine, and is also a great introduction to Kate Bishop. Yelena Belova was really good in this show, and she felt a lot like how she did in Black Widow, and I felt she was one of the best parts of that film. So yeah, I also liked her friendship, I guess is what you'd call it, with Kate Bishop. I found that quite interesting, with contrast between that and with Clint Barton. So yeah, very fly once again. Now, so far I've just been giving this show a lot of praise, because I did really enjoy it, and a lot more than I thought that I would. Now, hey, we've got to get into some of the negatives, I'm afraid. One of my main problems with the show comes from the final episode and how rushed Kingpin felt. Now, I'm currently about halfway through season 1 of Daredevil, and Kingpin is really good in that show. However, in Hawkeye, he just feels forced. He was hinted at in earlier episodes, then you could actually see him for a brief bit in episode 5, but come around to episode 6, and it's just, he was underwhelming. Now, I wouldn't mind if Kingpin was gonna be in future projects, since after all, he is more of a Daredevil and a Spider-Man villain than a Hawkeye villain. But then there's that bit at the end, was it like Echo killed Kingpin? Or did Kingpin end up killing Echo? Or did neither of them kill each other? Who knows? You see Echo whip out a gun, then you hear a gunshot, but you can't see it. Unless I'm just a big dum-dum, so down there. Talking about Echo, she is a bit underwhelming. Would have liked to see more of her. That's just the main thing with these villains. I found them underwhelming. where that's my main problem with it, and that's also probably how the final episode's a bit rushed, so they didn't have the big, like battle or the big tank shine. But I still like it being grandma, so I don't know, they're just underwhelming. But do you know what isn't underwhelming? That post-credit scene of Rogers and the LARPing group were a nice inclusion. So, all in all, at the moment, I'm thinking, I don't know, 8.6? That sounds about right. Yeah, it's really good, just has got some of its problems. Anyway, thank you for watching, and leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Goodbye.